RNG first up on the menu.
You couldn't ask for a better game to start the day. The hype video, the history between Uzi and Faker, the fact that they are both back and both looking poised to this world.
And both teams currently sitting at 1-0 in the group. The winner will claim first spot so far, and it's only setting up for a very exciting game. We saw some great stuff from both teams yesterday.
Especially when you consider the nature of this group. Many fans, when they saw the group draw, seeing SKT, RNG, and Fnatic in the same group, meaning one of those three does not get to advance, that means every single one of these wins you pull out means so much more, and this should be an absolutely epic game.
Yeah, and let's think about what these guys did yesterday, because we saw SKT actually lead off the World Championship against Fnatic. They brought out Kayle bot lane, a new pick that no one had played in that position for the entirety of the World Championship. So they even said after that game that they learned from their failures at MSI in terms of bringing new stuff out. I wonder what else they actually have, because SKT isn't the team that you traditionally think of for bringing out new or innovative strategies, and that is what they did yesterday.
Yeah, when we look at RNG, I feel like we saw what we always see from RNG. We saw a strong bot side of the map, we saw a safe top laner, and we see them typically try to play through the bottom lane. And while we did see a couple of ganks directed towards Chung, and who honestly had a great game, a lot of the focus in the early game was put much more towards the bot side of the map, and I don't think you're going to get away with a Kayle bot lane against the likes of Uzi and me.
Well, we know that the rest of RNG would definitely not just allow that to sort of sit and happen. They love to play around this bottom side of the map. They specifically love to invest as many resources as possible into Uzi. We've seen this guy be the carry of the day before, and whether or not that happens here today, well, that's up to the guys on stage.
And what I'm really interested in is how these two teams clash with regards to their styles, because both are very controlled. A lot of team fighting happens domestically for both of these teams, and they love to contest for these objectives. So I wonder if in the draft we will see a very team fight focused style of play from both teams, or if we will see some shakeups in the draft.
All right, we're getting into Champion Select now for the first time of the day. It's Morgana and Rise banned away by the side of SKT. RNG getting rid of the Akali and the Pantheon here to kick things off.
Yeah, Kayle immediately getting taken away, I think, is a signal that that pick is going to have a lot of power throughout the rest of the World Championship. That was one of the main takeaways a lot of the analysts had after yesterday's game, but the first pick will now kind of dictate what direction we see from SKT, and if it is going to be Renekton, that's something they have played in both the top and the mid lane.
Looks like they want to consider taking it away from Chung. It is something that RNG run a lot, especially during the playoffs, because it is a safe side top laner that you could also look to play through. So now that Khan has that favorable matchup, RNG could look to try and get a counter, but they're going to have to look to go for something safe side. Gangplank is up and available, which we know is highly contentious at this time.
RNG are hovering over this Zoe here at the start. Don't want to lock in the solo lane just yet. Instead, going to pick up Uzi's AD carry with the Xayah and putting Karsa on that early powerhouse in the Lee Sin.
I mean, I feel like we're going to see throughout this World Championship, if Xayah's not banned, that's what Uzi's going to play. It was basically permabanned in the LPL finals between RNG and FPX because, in part, Uzi is so devastating on it. Not only can he be lane dominant with it, but if you do try and gank him, it's very good at staying alive. So it allows Uzi to put forth a lot of pressure without a huge risk of dying.
SKT now in a position where they have to decide, do they want to try and counter the Rakan early by picking something that could be good into it, or do they want to try and take it away from the bot lane of RNG? Because depending on their pick will depend on how RNG answer with the support.
Switching back and forth between a couple of different things here.
Yes.
Goodness me, no.
Oh,
switching back to the
they
Thresh.
teased us with the support swing.
And we will see the Thresh locked in there saying, okay, RNG, if you want to go for the Xayah Rakan, you can pick that, but Thresh is going to be the response here from the side of SKT.
Yeah, I think it leaves it quite open-ended for SKT as well. I think Thresh can be relatively strong into a lot of matchups. Morgana is one of the hardest counters to it, and with that taken off the board, I think that you could look at something like an Alistar or even a Blitzcrank, which they did go for yesterday, and they're going to go for it once again. The crowd is excited to see it. I enjoyed watching Ming generate a lot of pressure with the hook, especially in the mid-game, but we'll see RNG how well they can do in the 2 versus 2.
The big buffs on the 919 patch extending the range of the Blitzcrank hook, and the question will be how familiar are SKT with all of the new routes that Ming can go through to try and get those extra hooks in.
notice that the Gangplank has been banned away from RNG. This suggests that RNG expect the Renekton to be a flex in the mid lane as well. We know that Faker can play it, and they want to deny that safe blind pick option. It also suggests that RNG have an answer to it, and will likely save their last pick, which means that I expect Xiaohu to go for one of his safe mages. We may end up seeing something like the Karma for him in the mid lane.
Solo lanes are the name of the game here for the bans in this second phase. LeBlanc, the ban coming out from SKT, keeping that one out of the hands of Xiaohu. They don't want him on that champion that's able to get around, assassinate everybody so easily. Callista